active learner. I think a bubble map would be pretty good for this one. So. Remember, write first before you bubble.
Yes.
Write first, then bubble.
It's okay. I can write small.
Okay.
So active learning.
I love how you guys shared about your graduate aims that you want to get better at. I heard you guys being willing to be vulnerable with each other.
Active learning. Students
especially about making errors.
Yeah. So knowledge for yourself, just like you
I won't draw any bubble until I'm
Okay, good.
Me and you both like called me out on that one hard.
Okay, so what's something we can write under active learner?
They receive knowledge.
Can you go back to the other side?
Students for life on Actually, I think
There we go.
it's going to the next slide.
Getting knowledge.
Active learning versus passive learning. In your packet, draw a picture or thinking map of active and passive learning. Quality control, 5 minutes. Discuss how your drawings show the difference in learning types, 2 minutes.
So quality control is like a total of 7, or keep track of 7 minutes.
Alright guys, we're going to pause for a moment and hear from each other about your strengths with graduate aims and the areas that you want to grow so we can get to know each other a little bit better. And we're also modeling for you what it's like to move from squads to whole class discussions. So the squads you all got done at different times, and these squads kept going, and we were waiting for this squad to get to the stopping point where we were going to stop and discuss. So as a teacher, we were using the TVs to see where all of you were, right? And when that squad finished fairly early, I went over and checked in on them to make sure that they knew that they could keep going and didn't sit there and wait for the whole class discussion, because you don't want your kids with nothing to do, right? So now we're all ready. So would anyone like to stand and share with us your strength and then something you want to work on from the graduate aims?
Okay, so one graduate aim
Can
that
I pause you for 1 second? Just because since we're practicing, like I want to make sure we remind teachers of the little things that we want to start adding in middle school that we didn't do before. Can you sit down one more time and then repeat that again, Marla? Does anybody want to share?
Does anyone want to share their strength and what they want to work on with the graduate aims? Please stand and share.
Thank you, Bobby. Track Bobby.
Track Bobby.
Everybody track Bobby.
Track Bobby.
Okay, so the graduate aim that I think that I'm good at is being an academic scholar, because I'm pretty sure I have a good foundation of literacy and mathematical skills that have gotten me really far in my life so far, and have also helped me in situations outside of school. So I think that is something that I've really been really good at my entire life. And one graduate aim that I would like to improve on is being a collaborative teammate, because even though I am good at collaborating with people, or like people that may be older than me, I think that I need to really practice with collaborating with people who are around my age, because that's really where it gets hard, because there are a lot of kids my age that really don't like talking to other kids the same age as me. And once I think that I improve on that, then that will really be the main thing that I need to focus on, and it's going to be my main thing that I really need to get.
Snaps for Bobby, guys.
Bobby, can you call on someone else to go now?
Arpenter.
To add on to what Bobby said.
Track Arpenter.
Track Arpenter.
To add on to what Bobby said, I'm in middle school right now. I'm an academic scholar as well, and academic stuff has always come naturally to me, so excelling academically was never something I had a problem with, which also led to me being able to be a collaborative teammate, because I just naturally had it in me to want to work with people and help people with stuff that I already knew. But that being said, the graduate aim that I want to improve on is being a courageous change maker inside and outside of the classroom, so not being afraid to voice my opinions in different settings, and gaining that confidence through working with other people in this model. So we'll see how that goes by the end of middle school.
Snaps for Arpenter.
Arpenter, you want to choose someone else?
Yes.
You guys
Corey.
can volunteer.
I saw the eyes.
Track Corey.
Track Corey.
Alright, so the graduate aim that I'm good at is collaborative teammate. I'm always willing to be part of a team, help the team, talk through it with the team. And the one I want to improve on is continual improver, because I think we always need to have a way to improve. And then the second we stop trying to be a continual improver is when we go stagnant. So I think that's one that everyone always should be working on.
Snaps.
Alright, so let's put our teacher hats back on for a minute. So you wanna, in ELA we don't stop our students very often. In math they stop a lot. You wanna stop if you have a really important point that you wanna stamp, and you're not hearing it in the groups, right? They're close, but maybe you're right, everybody's struggling, or you're having to work really hard to get everybody there. You wanna stop and make sure everybody got it, and you just discuss it together as a class. Also, moments like this that build culture, right? If they're, especially in ELA, there's some really meaningful things that the kids are gonna share with one another, so you might wanna stop, and that way they can, you know, get to know one another. Do you wanna say anything more
Make
about
sure,
that?
just like I said, like, make sure that you're saying track so-and-so, like if there's students that are not looking and the student's about to start talking, just say, oh, waiting on a couple friends, and then say it again and make sure everybody like is actually turning. And if you see students, if you identify students that aren't paying attention, they don't care what the student has to say,
Can you
walk
turn
over to
face
where
the
they
table?
are and make eye contact.
So turn all the
Track
way around.
Bobby and make sure that they're tracking before you move on.
Yeah, so look at Bobby. You're being too nice, Bobby. Look at the window. Yeah, so if Corey is standing, this is what you'll see on the other side of the room a lot, right? Is they're not turned around and looking. And so if I say track Corey, the whole room turns, but Bobby stays there. Right? And he might even be listening, but you can't see that he's listening. And that's the lovely thing about Slant, is that you can see that kids are engaged. So what might you say then to get Bobby to turn around? Or what might you do?
What Nancy said, waiting on a couple friends,
Mhm.
and if that doesn't work, she also suggested going next to them and making that eye contact to
Right.
make sure.
And you don't have to say anything, like if mostly everybody's tracking and it's just that friend that's turned around, I would let you keep talking, but I would walk over here, make eye contact.
Right. You can just feel us,
And
can't
you
you?
just, like, if you look at them and just quietly, just like, you know, and you're still listening, right? And you're walking around looking at everybody, now friends are starting to turn around.
Right.
Does anyone remember what strategy they're modeling? Calling on 3 friends, using proximity. The anti-model would be Bobby.
Yeah.
Make sure you're slanted.
Because then you're calling
Tracking
them
your
out,
friends.
so you can be like embarrassed.
That would be most invasive.
Yeah, that would
What's-
be most invasive.
Oh, least invasive.
Yeah.
Least
Yes.
invasive.
Yep,
I thought
least
that was
invasive.
the answer, but I was like,
So for middle school kids, respect and dignity is everything, right? Do not embarrass them in front of their classmates, right? You want to get them to cooperate with the group in the least invasive way that you can, so that they still feel good about themselves. When they start to feel badly about themselves, you start to lose them. So, all right, any other questions about that? Okay, keep going.
All right.
I was really trying to. What was that?
no,
Yeah.
Oh, we're still working on the.
Can I present too, or
So we
is it
need-
just
You're just the one presenter. So like there's always just one presenter at the table and they're usually on this side. On that side. I think it's mostly this side. So you present the whole time.
Okay. Okay, another important aspect of squads is that students learn to be active learners. This is different than the way you learn in elementary school. So active learning is students with squads are active learners who
Together.
quality control activities and start the stopwatch for 7 minutes.
Students and other models are often passive learners. They receive knowledge from the teacher. The students rely on the teacher.
Is there another graduate aim that reflects
Right?
In your high you drop
on 37?
Continual improvers, academic
Who's
scholars.
your quality
Academic
control?
scholars.
Yeah.
We have a 5-minute timer then?
I'm watching the stop, so this timer keeps going. So the 30-minute timer, so I'm watching the stopwatch. So the timer is also going.
Very impressive, Arvinder.
Technology.
I think,
Creative problem solvers.
yeah.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
And we should probably bounce over to the next one because we have 2.5 minutes left.
Okay. So remember, right then circle.
Right, then circle. Corey.
I did it on the rest of them, you guys.
Passive learners.
That would be, you know, invasive.
That would be very. That would be really impressive. Passive learners. Do we want to go back to slide? What is it? 41. It is 41.
Okay. So teacher led.
Yep.
You go and get knowledge for yourself, just like you would do a job. So I think being part of that is the initiative. It's been a while since we've read the vocabulary behind passive learners. So Gladys, you want to read the?
Yeah, passive learning. Students in other models are often passive learners. They receive knowledge from teachers. Students rely on teacher. So no critical thinking.
Yeah.
Alyssa, I loved how you took her back to the definition to get more content for your map.
Thank you.
So they're less independent as passive learners.
Yeah.
What else do you think?
So dependent.
Active learners. At some point, I want to check in with everybody.
Okay, let's see. Does anybody have any more?
That's just
But I see a lot of words going down for 8 a.m. school.
Yeah.
Yeah, discussion, participation.
Just participation is good. Engage throughout every squad. And then more passive learners was so funny because I would say like I was a passive learner in the beginning, so I would mainly just wait till everybody was done talking and I would go ask the teacher too.
Nice.
Stuff like that. So I feel like I know exactly what passive learner is.
So a passive learner just more or less just takes notes and doesn't really actively engage in it. They just do their own.
Yeah.
Independent.
Less participation.
The first difference is there's
Less
way
participation.
more, there's more descriptions and points for
Maybe doesn't talk as much.
versus passive learners. Gladys.
Doesn't talk or ask questions.
I think on the passive learner